Good morning, class. Today we are going to do the poem The Polar Region. Polar regions are full of ice and snow. The temperatures there are very low. So chilly and bitter is the climate. Summers there are always very late. The sunlight there is rather scarce, but the blizzards are angry and fierce. The Eskimos live in their tiny igloos, wearing hood jackets and big shoes. They may use harpoons, which look like spears, used to hunt to kill those large polar bears. The animals are the Arctic fox, bears, and ermine. With their ability to adapt, they survive just fine. In the older days, lived there the Lapps with furry clothes and furry caps. Antarctica is a continent free. It is home to a dear Dakshin Gangotri by Sanchit Saluja. So, children, this poem, The Polar Region, is written by Sanchit Saluja. And, children, in this poem, what we are going to learn is about the life, about the animals, about the climate of polar region. Now, where is this polar region? Polar region is located near the north and the south poles. And in this region, it experiences severe winters and the conditions are very harsh. That means it's very, very cold. And people over there, they have tough life. Now, children, we all visit hill station when it is summers. Then in hill stations, the weather is very fine. Okay, and even during winters, hill stations they often experience snowfall. So most of us visit hill station during summers because the climate over there is good as compared to plain areas. And some of us even visit hill stations during winters to experience and enjoy the snowfall. But have you ever thought of the place where throughout the year there is just snow everywhere? And yes, the polar region is that place where there is snow everywhere and people are facing tough time. So now let's begin with the explanation. Polar regions are full of ice and snow. Now, as they are in the north and the south pole, so there the sunlight that is reaching there is very less, and so most of the time throughout the year it is snow and ice. The temperature there are very low. Due to snow, the temperature is very low. Every time it is below 0. So chilly and bitter is the climate. Due to snow everywhere, it's very cold, so it's chilly. Summers there are always very late, and hardly people over there experience any type of summers because most of the time it is snow. The sunlight there is very scarce. Scarce means very little, because you already know that the sun rays on equator it is direct and on poles it is very slant, and due to which the sunlight that is reaching on the poles it's very, very less. But the blizzards are angry and fierce. Blizzards are the snowstorms with very high winds. So when there is snowstorm and it is accompanied with high winds, it seems as if they are very angry and fierce. Fierce means they are very frightening. The Eskimos live in their tiny igloos. Now, you can see in the picture the white house that is there. This is known as igloo. And the person who is standing, they are known as Eskimos. So people who live in these dome-shaped house that is built of snow is known as igloos. So this igloo is a dome-shaped house. It is made up of snow. And Eskimos are the people who live in the polar region. Wearing hood jacket and big shoes. So that is clearly visible in the picture. That is, hooded jacket is there and the big shoes. They may use harpoons which look like spears. Now harpoons are the weapons. You can see in the picture the person is holding a stick like something that is known as harpoon. Okay, and it's pointed on one side. Used to hunt to kill those large polar bears. And as it is pointed from one side, it is used for killing the polar bears. The animals are the Arctic fox, bears and ermine. The animals that you can see in the picture, the first one is the Arctic fox. Then in center it is a polar bear. And in the third picture, that is ermine. Now they are the animals that are found in polar region. With their ability to adapt, they survive just fine. Now as they all have the furry coat, you can see they all are white in color and they have that white fur on their body. So this makes them easy for them to adapt to that surrounding, that is to that severe cold conditions. Adapt means they can easily adjust in that cold conditions. In the older days lived there the Lapps. Now, sometimes back, if you talk about, then the community of people who lived in polar region, they were known as Lapps. Now in the picture you can see this is the traditional dress of people of polar region and they were known as Lapps with furry clothes and furry caps. So their clothes and cap is made up of fur to keep their body warm. Antarctica is a continent free. It is home to our deer Dakshin. Now if we talk about Antarctica, then Antarctica is in the polar region. It lies in polar region and it's a continent free. Continent free means it is a separate continent which is full of snow throughout the year and it is home to our dear Dakshin Gangotri. Now what is this Dakshin Gangotri? This Dakshin Gangotri is the first scientific base station of India. Okay, and it is situated in Antarctica. So if you see this blue picture where one person in red dress is standing, behind him is that scientific base station of India which is situated in Antarctica, and you can see there is snow all around, right? And this poem is written by Sanchit Saluja. He is a budding poet. Budding poet means maybe not very renowned now, but in times to come he'll become famous. Who likes to express his thoughts and ideas through simple and interesting rhymes. So if you just go through the entire poem, you'll find that the language is very simple and you can easily depict its meaning. And there are a lot of rhyming scheme also in the poem. Like if we talk about in the first para, then snow, low, climate, late, scars, fears, igloos, shoes, harpoon, spears, ermine, fine. So there are many rhyming schemes in the poem. In the last para, laps, caps, free, Gangotri. So the poet has used lot of rhyming scheme and the language used is very simple. So through this poem we can easily know about the polar region, about the people who are living there, about the animals that are found, and about the climatic conditions. Right? So that is all. Thank you.